Hello guys, welcome back. So in our last video we were discussing about EC2. What is EC2? How do we create a EC2 instance? And we also did a practical creation of EC2 instance. So this is the EC2 instance that we created in the last lecture. And as we were discussing in the last lecture, we are gonna connect this EC2 instance with SSM, Systems Manager now. Okay, so before proceeding, let's discuss what is Systems Manager. So Systems Manager is a managed service provided by AWS that is used to run commands on the resources, specifically EC2 instances. It can be used to run deploy patches on the EC2 instances, connect to the EC2 instances. It has several other components like Fleet Manager, inventory, to fetch details of the instances running in your environment. So this is a very beneficial service, and it runs as an agent or a service on your instance OS. So most of the AWS AMIs, latest AMIs like Amazon Linux, come pre-equipped or pre-installed with the SSM agent. So there are some prerequisites before you can use Systems Manager SSM. So as we had seen in the last lecture, that when we were clicking on this connect and choosing Session Manager, the connect option was grayed out. So in the offline I had made some changes to the instance, due to which I am able to connect it via SSM now. So to demonstrate those, let's go back to square one. Okay, so I've detached the SSM role. So now if I go back to connect, it says no IAM instance profile attached to your instance. Okay, so it says that there is no instance profile attached. Yep. So I get error that it has terminated, and if you read the error message, it says clearly no EC2 instance role found caused by EC2 metadata error. So this is one of the prerequisites. There is a complete documentation available on Amazon that for what are the prerequisites. But if I have to tell you, so first prerequisite is that your instance should have a IAM role attached to it with Systems Manager permissions. So we'll go here, modify, select this already created role that I created, update IAM role. Don't worry about the role, I'll show it to you. I'll explain the role as well. So we'll open this link in new tab. Okay, so this is the role that we created. So I have given some additional permissions to this, but the basic permission that you need is this one. This is AWS managed permission, so you need to have this permission, AWS Amazon SSM managed instance code, attached to your role. And in trust relationship policy, this should have EC2 Amazon AWS.com, and it should have STS assume role policy. How do you create this role? So when we just click on create role, we select AWS service EC2, and there is a pre-configured use case. So if you can click on this EC2 role for AWS System Manager and click next. Yep, so it attaches the required permissions, and you can click on next, give the role a name, and you're done. And it will automatically generate the trust policy as well for your role. So I already have a role created, that's why I'm gonna cancel this. But if you don't have, you can create a role from here. So now that we have a role attached to our instance, second prerequisite is that in your security group outbound rules, your instance should be able to communicate over port 443 in outbound rules. So as this is a test instance, we have allowed all traffic on outbound rules for all any to any traffic in outbound rules. So that's why 443 is already reachable for my instance. If you are having a custom outbound rules, then ensure that you have 443 allowed for outbound. Okay, this was the second prerequisite. Third prerequisite is that the SSM agent service should be up and running on your instance. So now if I click on connect again, yep, there's no error message. The connect button is now live, and if I click on connect, yep, you can see that I'm able to connect without any password, without any error. And to show you that this is the same instance, I have config. I can see that my private IP is 10.0.0.13, and if I go back to my instance, so this is the private IP. So I hope this is clear to you now. You will be able to create an instance and you will be able to connect it via systems manager. So do practice it. Try to do it on your own. Try to spin up an instance. Try to create connect it via SSM. And if you guys have any issues, then let us know in comments. So in the next video, we'll be discussing more about Linux, some basic Linux commands. So to start with Linux, first we will be creating a user. We will be assigning the user permissions for sudo access. So we'll be adding a manual user with username and password so that we can connect to the instance without keys and without SSM as well if we are having a public IP attached to it. So that should be fine. See you guys in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye.